be cooking on the pellet smoker. I'm gonna be doing dry aged steak topped with a lobster that's poached in a white wine butter emulsion. Let's go! Okay, so first things first, before we get the steaks going and the smoker going, we're gonna do some prep for the emulsion that the lobster's going in. Now, I hate doing this stuff like with a passion, so Charlie over here is gonna be doing we need like about 1/3 of a cup of shallots and a good 2 or 3 garlic cloves sliced up. So she's gonna do that now and we'll get a good video of it. Alright, well, we don't need nearly that many shallots, but, you know, what are you going to do with a spare shallot? It's not like you're going to use it, so we're just going to pretend we're using it today. Now that that's done and sitting, we're going to do the dry-aged steak pretty much the same way that I do normal steak. It's just dry-aged is special because, you know, whatever, we're doing it special. You can put a seasoning, a rub on your steak. I'm just gonna do the normal salt tonight because with the lobster poached in the emulsion, I don't think we need to add a whole lot of stuff to it, in my opinion. But do what you want, you know? Alright, so while the grill is heating up and we're letting the salt and the flavor get into the meat and set in there a little bit, we're gonna pull the meat out of the lobster. You guys have seen me do lobster tails before on the channel, but I'm doing lobster tail, but because we're poaching the meat, I have to just take it completely out. So you do the same thing as you do in that other video, but you just take the meat all the way out. Alright, so our grill has come up to temperature. Remember, low and slow for the smoke. So we're gonna leave the steaks on the smoke for 45 minutes to an hour, I suppose. But until the steaks get to be like 100, 105. Okay, so we have a little bit of time while the steaks are smoking. We're gonna do the butter emulsion. But what we gotta do is get these aromatics in there first. So it's just gonna be like a little bit of oil, and then we're gonna soften up the shallot and the garlic. So here we go. The reason we keep the heat low is because that's what poaching is. Poaching means basically to slowly, I guess, boil. It's going to be cooking in this slow. So when you have a poached egg, it's been slow cooked. You just can't tell the difference because the egg doesn't have any flavor. But That's what poaching is. That's why you want to keep the heat throughout this pretty low, which means it's going to need some constant maintenance because it's butter, so it's going to want to like separate, so you got to keep moving the stuff once we get that far. But we're not there yet. Okay, once these have sweat out a little bit, we're talking like, I don't know, 5-ish minutes. We put a little bit of the salt and seasoning in there, a little bit of steak seasoning just to sauce it up. We're gonna do a white wine. So you wanna go like a dry white wine. So I got a Pinot Grigio from New Zealand, actually. The chef always gets to taste the wine. Alright, so you can see that pretty much all the wine has reduced out of there. So we're going to start making the emulsion. So what we have to do is slowly add in this butter. And this is where you want it to be slow, because if it goes too fast, it's not going to be thick like we want. So nice and low, about as low as it can go. We're going to add 2 pats of butter for the first time, right, to get it going. But after this, it's just going to be 1 at a time, nice and slow, okay? And we have to constantly stir. So this part is really slow process. So now we've put our lobster in the, you see we had so you go nice and slow and you get this thick emulsion. That's what that is. And so now we're just slowly cooking our lobster in the emulsion. Now what we don't want is any boiling and bubbling. So if that happens, we'll pull the pan off the heat, keep it cooking on the heat that's already in the pan. But so not only are we cooking the lobster in this, but we're gonna use this as the sauce that goes on top of our dish. So yeah. If your sauce starts getting thin, take it off the heat and give it a good like stir around like this. See how it thickens right back up? That's what we want. All right. Alright guys, the true test. Dry aged steak is going to have a little bit of a different texture than a regular steak, but it's going to have all that flavor.
Holy macaroni. Oh.
Oh my gosh.
This is your best one yet.
This is the best meal I've made. Probably ever.
I don't want to get full. I haven't had much of an appetite. It's me as an elf.
That's the treat.